The night was colder than usual, and Daniel Pierce tightened his jacket as he stepped out of the cafe. He had stayed late to finish a project, and the streets were nearly empty. A quiet fog hovered above the sidewalks, glowing faintly under the streetlights. Daniel pulled out his phone, booked an Uber, and waited near the curb. He didn't notice at first, but something felt different tonight, like the air itself was holding its breath. A few minutes later, a dark silver car pulled up in front of him. The engine purred softly, and the headlights flashed once. "Your driver has arrived." Daniel opened the back door, slid inside, and pulled out his phone. But then he froze. The driver turned slightly, just enough for the dim lighting to reveal his face. Daniel's heartbeat stopped. The driver had his face. Not similar, not look-alike, exactly him. Just older, maybe 20 years. Same eyes, same jawline, same tiny scar above the eyebrow he got at 12. Daniel stared, unable to speak. The older man didn't smile. He didn't turn fully around. He simply looked at Daniel through the rearview mirror, his eyes tired and afraid. "Don't panic," the driver said quietly. His voice, Daniel's voice, just deeper, filled the car like a ghost. Daniel opened his mouth, but before he could speak, the older version said, "Don't take the next turn." The sentence dropped like a stone into a silent lake. Daniel frowned. What does that mean? Who are you?" The driver didn't answer immediately. He put the car in drive and pulled away from the curb. His hands shook slightly on the steering wheel. "I know this is confusing," he said, "but listen to me carefully. You cannot, under any circumstances, take the next turn." Daniel leaned forward. "Why? What's going to happen?" The driver exhaled heavily. "It's what happened to me, and I'm trying to give you a chance I never had." The city lights bleared past the windows as they moved. Daniel's pulse hammered in his ears. "You're saying you're me?" Daniel whispered. "Yes. You expect me to believe that?" "No, I don't expect you to believe anything. I expect you to survive." Daniel glanced at the map on his phone. The route to his apartment was familiar. 4 turns, a long road, and then home. The next turn was approaching. The older Daniel gripped the wheel, jaw tight. "When we reach the next intersection, you must stay straight, no matter what you see, no matter what happens." What do you mean, what I see?" Daniel asked slowly. "You'll understand soon." As the car approached the traffic light, Daniel felt something strange, like the air outside had thickened, like the world was holding still around them. "Why are you doing this?" Daniel asked. "Why come back?" Older Daniel hesitated. "For years, I've lived with the moment that ruined everything. I watched my life fall apart. I watched the consequences spread like poison. I couldn't fix my world, so I came to save yours." Daniel's breath caught. "How? How did you come here?" "I shouldn't tell you." He clenched the wheel harder. Knowledge is dangerous, too dangerous. The traffic light turned yellow, then red. The car rolled to a calm stop. Older Daniel's eyes locked onto Daniel's through the mirror. "If you take the next turn, everything ends." The light turned green. The car inched toward the intersection. Daniel swallowed, tension crawling up his spine. The road to the left felt wrong. There were no cars, no sound. Like that part of the world had been muted. "What's down that road?" Daniel asked. "Not what," the driver whispered. "Who?" Daniel leaned back, confusion knotting his stomach. The car stayed straight. The forbidden turn passed behind them like a shadow slipping away. Daniel exhaled shakily. "Okay, you stopped me from turning. Now tell me why." The older Daniel didn't answer. His eyes kept flicking to the rearview mirror, as if he expected something or someone. Finally he spoke. "When I was your age, I took that turn. A minute later, I saw a homeless man lying in the street. I thought he needed help. But when I stepped out, I was taken." Daniel's skin crawled. Taken by who? By the people waiting in the van. People who knew things about the future, about me, things they shouldn't have known. Daniel's jaw tightened. They kidnapped you. They changed me, the older Daniel whispered. They broke me. They used me. And when I finally escaped, I wasn't the same person anymore. Daniel's throat tightened. He couldn't imagine 20 years of suffering. But the older version wasn't finished. They were there tonight, too, waiting for you. I could feel it, just like the night it happened to me. He finally turned halfway, enough for Daniel to see the faded scars near his jawline. They wouldn't have let you go. Daniel looked out the back window. A black van had turned behind them. It kept its distance, lights off, slow, steady following. Daniel's blood turned to ice. "Is that them?" he whispered. Older Daniel nodded once. "They always follow." "Why me? Why us?" Daniel asked. The driver's eyes darkened. "Because we are part of something bigger, something they don't want us to understand." "What do you mean?" Older Daniel tightened his grip again. "Do you ever feel like someone is watching your life from the outside? Like you're inside a system, a simulation, and one glitch could reveal everything?" Daniel's heart skipped. "Yes," he admitted, "sometimes." "That's because you're starting to wake up, and they can't let you wake up." The van behind them sped up slightly. Daniel leaned forward. "Then what do we do?" "We don't stop," older Daniel whispered. "Not for anything." The road opened into a quiet industrial area. Empty warehouses, broken streetlights, everything soaked in silence. Daniel's older self pulled into a dark alley and cut the engine. The van didn't follow, at least for now. Daniel turned to him. "Tell me everything. I need to understand." The older Daniel looked tired, like he had carried this weight forever. "When they took me, they kept me in a facility. No windows, no clocks. They asked questions about the past, about the future. They wanted to know what choices I would make and why." "That makes no sense," Daniel said. "They weren't human," the older Daniel whispered. "Not all the time." Daniel's breath hitched. "What does that mean?" "They changed form. Their voices weren't normal. Their eyes, God, their eyes weren't human." Daniel shook his head. "Why would they do this to us?" "They said we were special, that we remembered things we weren't supposed to, that we were at the center of something that shouldn't exist." Daniel stared in disbelief. "And I'm?" he asked quietly. "Unless you change your path," the older version said. "Unless you never take that turn." A long silence filled the car. Then the older Daniel added, "I came back because I never had a warning. I walked straight into my own destruction." Daniel felt tears burn the backs of his eyes. "But if you save me, doesn't that change you?" he asked. The older Daniel smiled faintly, a sad curve on tired lips. "I didn't come to save myself," he said. "I came to save you." A faint rumbling echoed from the distance. The van was coming, fast. Older Daniel gripped Daniel's shoulder. His eyes were wet, full of fear and love, the kind only a man could feel for his younger self. "Listen to me," he said firmly. "I don't have much time." Daniel's lip trembled. "What do I do?" "You go home," the older Daniel replied. "But you choose a new street. You choose a new path. You never take the left turn. Ever." "And you?" asked. The older Daniel looked toward the sound of the van. "My time is up." The van screeched around the corner. Daniel panicked. "Come with me." "I can't," the older version whispered. "If I do, they'll follow you forever." He opened Daniel's door. "Run." Daniel hesitated, but only for a moment. Then he ran. As he sprinted out of the alley, he looked back once. The van stopped behind the older version. Black-clothed figures stepped out, surrounding him. Older Daniel didn't fight. He only glanced at Daniel with one last look of hope. Then he was taken. Daniel didn't stop running until he reached a busy street filled with people and lights. He gasped for air, trembling, sweat running down his face. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. He opened it. "I bought you time. Don't waste it." Another message came instantly. "And remember, don't take the